Here is my freshly updated studio, and I wanted to give you a quick look around. Here's my mastering rig, where I use BURL converters and Rupert Neve Portico II, together with RME ADDA converters. Everything is being connected to this UFX Plus that has, I believe, 192 audio channels. And all these channels are being fed through various mixers, like this one, here's another one, and the third one, that's all it is in Eurorack. And sometimes they are being connected directly through synths that don't really need mixers, like Mavis, that I actually have 3 here, 1, 2, 3, and DFAM. And then everything coming out from Eurorack and other synthesizers, when I'm using a separate line, I'm connecting them to these ART Dual RDB DI signal boxes that convert the proper line level to pedal signal. And all the synths are being controlled with just my iPhone, that I can, I'm not sure if you can see this, I can turn on, for example, all Roland Boutiques synths just with one click, and they will turn on, and they are being all controlled through Keystep Pro, and I can mix when I'm performing on these small little mixers that has all the boutiques connected to it. And I can also control the synths from this Prophet 10. I can also switch the programs. On almost all the devices here. Some of them are not really compatible. What else? Everything is connected through like various MIDI splitters and mergers and stuff like that. It's kind of complicated, but this is how it is when you do dawless. I'm also using a lot of loop tapes in my performances. I have quite a few of them that I can just drop in on the fly, and all the tapes have loops from various synths. For example, this one is from Mavis, that I can play and control the pitch of it. Just to get the note that I want. Pedal wise, this is like my main pedal rig, and it has, I believe, three separate lines. Every line is connected to this dual RDB that I showed you, and pedals are connected in chains. For example, here is like a green chain, and I know that green is this Mavis. It's all going through these pedals, like this one. It's going through the red line of pedals. For example, I can like turn this one on. Right, so that's about this rig. Other things that I use a lot is obviously my Mog 1. That has a few separate outputs that are also being connected to some pedals. What else? We have Mog Matriarch that is connected to the Night Sky and Space Echo from Boss. And also we have the Digitone. I actually have a lot of Electron boxes and I'm just switching them. I don't like to use a lot of equipment because it's getting kind of confusing when you performance, believe it or not. But I'm always trying to pull out the one that I want to use. And lastly, here is like my final rig that I'm experimenting with. Here are all the pedals that I use to together with the Roland Boutiques synths and Prophet and Behringer Pro 800. So it's Strymon Deco, Strymon Timeline, DOD Rubberneck, Strymon Big Sky, the DM101 from Boss, and Microcosm. And then the guitar that I use is just a simple Squier, but it's a baritone, and it's connected to this little infinity looper, Strymon El Capistan and Spark amp. I just found it working best for me. And eventually, when everything is being recorded, I transfer it to this computer, and then I'm just mixing everything in the box, and that's basically how I work. If you have any questions or want to know anything more about what I do and how I do it, just let me know in the comments. Thanks.